This is beyond Wi-Fi. This is Xfi, Xfinity, proud partner of the University of New Mexico Lobos. We're live on Albertsons Radio Row in this legendary venue that has seen so many great games over the years. My broadcast partner, Hunter Green, a legend himself in Lobo annals, has been involved in many of those. I'm Robert Portnoy. This would not be among the great games in Pitt history, but it is among the blowouts we have seen in the Pitt. And when San Jose State comes here, things don't go well for the Spartans. These are the scores from their last 3 visits to Dreamstyle Arena to the Pitt. 2017, 2018, New Mexico routed them 80-47. That's a 33-point drubbing. Last year, when the Spartans came here, it was 92-60. That's a 32-point drubbing. And tonight, a late 3 for the Spartans saved another 30-point demolition. The margin tonight, 27, 86-59. So the Lobos, they don't have any problems with the Spartans when they get them here. It doesn't matter who's on the Lobo roster. And a very different outcome, obviously, than the tight one-possession loss in San Jose back on January 1st of 2020.
Yeah, you see this game and you wonder, well, how did New Mexico lose in San Jose, right? I mean, and with only 8 scholarship players, they were able to pull off this victory of 27 points here in the Pit. There were some bright spots for guys who really haven't played much.
And who played and who didn't might have been part of the story tonight, because the man who made a career-best 7 threes when the Lobos lost to San Jose State January 1, he might have been one of the guys that maybe was a little bit late for the bus, because he didn't start and he ended up only playing 6.5 minutes. So Richard Washington, non-factor, and he hit the game-winning 3 to beat the Lobos earlier this month. Okay. It's time for your Toyota Drive of the Game. There were some choices for the Toyota Drive of the Game tonight. Toyota, let's go places. Vontae Hendricks drive of the baseline. For the right hand, tomahawk! Vontae Hendricks explodes to the rim.
Was that pretty or what? Woo! Let's see it on the replay. Can we get a replay?
We did get a replay.
Yeah, we did.
In-house replay on the big digital video board. Your Toyota Drive of the Game. Toyota, let's go places. There's some bouncy boys on this Lobo team, you know? I mean, we know McQuatch has the hops, McQuatch Malach. We've seen that for now 3 years running. Keith McGee, you know, he was in contention for that dunk championship last season. Drew Drennan was among those that was right there as well. And then, obviously, Emmanuel Quach can flat-out fly, the true freshman. But
Tavion Percy, though.
Tavion showed on a lob that he can climb the ladder, too, didn't he? Yeah.
He can sky.
But Vontae, big-time bounce for that finish. Okay. 86-59, final. Lobos win. More postgame after this timeout. Lobo basketball on the UNM Sports Radio Network. For the 3rd straight time in this building. That's 3 consecutive years. Margins 33, 32, and 27 over San Jose State here. Our guests are Lobo Special Assistant Craig Snow and Lobo Post Corey Manigault, nickname WAP. WAP, congratulations, man.
Appreciate
Great performance tonight, my friend.
Congratulations, Corey.
What were you happiest with regard to your performance tonight and the Lobos' performance overall? Corey, what did you like?
Just executing the game plan, like offensively, just taking our time. Coach told us we can walk up the floor if we need to, take our breaths, and play our offense against other guys. He said he trusted our offense, and he said he trusted our 5 against their 5, and it worked out perfectly.
It was a lot more than just 5 tonight, though. Yeah. There were a lot of guys that got off your bench, got big minutes. Tavion Percy got a start.
Yeah.
And I thought there were a lot of contributions from a lot of guys.
Yeah, even though y'all see us like maybe we might lose here and there, but practice will still be going hard. So our young guys ready, and they ready to step in and do what they got to do.
Corey, I've watched you here over the last few games, and because some of your teammates are out, you stepped up in a big way, and I could see the maturity in the way that you're playing. And just tonight, you only had 1 personal foul. I mean, that's huge because you're really the only big man standing, the only guys that we have left. And so you could see the maturity. Is that something that you've been working on in terms of just not making bad defensive plays?
Yeah, for sure. It's just, I don't know, our coaches tell me it's simple. It's like if I foul, I can't be on the floor.
Oh, it's that simple. That's it.
What's funny is tonight, his one foul, he was on the floor. He was laying down.
That's right.
They got you laying
They
down
got him
underneath
for a
the
block,
basket.
right? Yeah, that
Yeah.
was weird. That was so strange.
The only thing we could think of, Coach Snow, maybe you can illuminate this for us, because Hunter said, so what's the deal? He didn't get called for the block on the initial shot, but when the other guy got the ball and then came down and landed on him, that's when they called the foul. What was up with that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think maybe technically when you're in the restricted area, you have to be vertical. Like, you have to be in the air if there's contact, but I don't know. I haven't seen it on
You
film.
have to give him a last
It was a
space to land,
strange
I think
foul.
that's what
Yeah, it was
yeah.
a strange foul, the first one for him, for sure.
Has it been tough, too, though, because knowing you're the only big, I know there's some times there where you're down there and you've got shot block in you, but you're staying on the floor, you're staying vertical and being smart, but you have to give up a layup every now and then.
Yeah, every now and then. Just playing smart is just a maturity thing, yeah. We still get stops, and we try to just do our best to get stops, but if something happens and it puts me in a bad position, I'm not going to bail them out, you feel me?
How was the execution of the game plan tonight, Coach Snow?
Thank you. I think especially with the tempo, like that's the one thing, like just trying to slow it down a little bit. We'd been probably sped up last week on the road, and we played games in like the high 70s, low 80 possession numbers, and just being a little short numbered and guys getting out there that maybe didn't have the experience coming into the game tonight. We really just want to try to control the tempo, and we felt like we could get late in the shot clock and still get good shots and still get the ball where we needed it to be. And I thought our guys executed that part of the game plan tremendously. We had a stretch in the second half where we came out to start the second half, which we were worried, starting the half. And, I think we scored maybe 7-8 straight possessions. And the guys just executed really well. They never got sped up. There was a few times where we probably took some early jumpers in the first half, towards the end. But overall, couldn't say enough about how the guys tried to do what we were wanting them to do in the locker room. And they played really hard, and I'm really proud of their effort.
Yeah, you could see that. Coach kept telling him to slow it down, walk it up. I thought Zane played tremendous in terms of playing the point guard position, picking the opportunities that presented themselves. He didn't force the issue as the point guard. Took layups when he had them and distributed the ball when it was there. Right. Do you see you guys still playing this style of play going into Nevada?
Well, I think just in general for us, just slowing the tempo down. We even though we were really good in transition, like we scored it at a pretty high rate. It really hurt us on the other end of the floor, like our defense. Like there would be opportunities where we would come down and maybe take a high risk pass or take a quick jumper, playing kind of maybe a little too free, and it would really hurt us in defensive transition. So I think the main thing tonight was we just really wanted to play 5-on-5. We felt like if we could play 5-on-5 defense and 5-on-5 offense, we had an advantage, even with the guys we have out. I mean, we still felt like we had an advantage, and our guys showed that tonight. But yeah, I mean, I think moving forward, just playing a little bit of a slower tempo, trying to make sure we're getting good shots, not turning the ball over. We had 11 turnovers tonight, which our goal was to be under 12, and our guys executed that really well.
McQuatch Malawash looked like he had a voracious appetite for the glass tonight.
He stole some of Corey's because Corey came up short. He almost had a double-double. He had 9 boards.
Yeah. That's cool. That's my man.
McQuatch finished with 15 and 13. McQuatch just looked hungry.
Yeah. He did, and he got off to a really good start also. Like he kind of jump-started us, and that's the one thing about it's for them not really having time to prepare, for where our guys were in spots. He had a really good perimeter matchup to start the game. He started off with the drive on Enigwe, and he was able to get to the rim and get fouled, and he hit the threes when they were inside out. So yeah, he played really well.
And there was a defensive play when he got ripped. He turned the ball over.
He
chased
tremendous.
his man down. He blocked him from the back, and then he came back into the play because I think a Spartan got the rebound.
And he knocked it away?
And he knocked it away from him and deflected out of bounds. I mean, he just gave you guys energy defensively as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, that's something I think that we also talked about, just like the energy. If you're expending your energy constantly running down in transition offense, by walking up the floor, like that's where we're going to rest. Like we can rest there.
Gotcha.
And I think there's probably been times when we were resting on the other end throughout the year. So our guys played really well on both ends of the floor tonight, and our veterans really led the way.
Wap, I wanted to ask you one other question. You catch so often down there, especially left block or that area, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about the decision-making process, because sometimes you'll go quickly. Other times you wait and assess, and you see sometimes you even get a double team. You got to pass out of it or decide what to do. How does that all play out in real time?
I just if I pass it out and they hit shots, they gotta go guard other people. They can't send double teams and stuff like that. So sometimes I try to start out the game passing and stuff, and then just like I said, inside out things like that. So and it's been working. So.
That's pretty smart there. You set up a teammate or two for a shot, then it clears everything up. Outstanding. All right, Wap, congratulations.
Appreciate
Corey
that.
Manigault, way to go. Coach Snow?
Hey, thanks, guys.
Congratulations.
Really appreciate it.
Congratulations, Coach.
Craig Snow, Lobo Special Assistant, Lobo Post, Corey Manigault. New Mexico 86, San Jose State 59. We're back after this final timeout. You're listening to Lobo Basketball on the UNO Sports Radio Network. New Mexico 86, San Jose State 59 is the final. Lobo head coach Paul Weir is alongside. Coach Weir, first off, congratulations. You guys had to come off back-to-back losses for the first time all year, and it's the third straight year that you and your team has had a blowout win over San Jose State here in this building. I think 33, 32, and 27-point margins.
I did not know that.
Yeah, another great effort for your team.
Yeah, I thought the guys played really well, followed the game plan to an absolute T. I mean, maybe 4 to 6 possessions over the course of the game I would have liked to have had back, but we went into the game saying we needed 12 or less turnovers, and we needed to be even on the backboard, and we were +1 on the backboard and 11 turnovers, and that I think is a really good recipe for us. We just have to put ourselves in better positions to be able to execute that.
Coach, how difficult has it been to implement something like this change, as drastic as it is, after playing, 15, 19 games,
no
and all of a sudden you're changing your style because you've lost 3 guys, now you're 4th guy.
Yeah.
I mean, how difficult is that?
It's interesting. I think we and I showed the clips before the game. When we actually play 5-on-5 basketball against very good teams, we're pretty good. Wisconsin played a really slow-down game. It was right into our hands. Air Force, really good game, right into our hands. When we actually play 5-on-5, our defense is really good. Our defense doesn't look good when we turn over the ball. Our defense doesn't look good when we take bad shots. Our defense doesn't look good when we just get a little extended. But if we can just find a way to be patient enough to play 5-on-5 at both ends of the court, I think you saw when we got rebounds, it was like, let's just stop. Let's get down there. Let's get everyone in the right position, and let's not waste that energy on running up the floor and taking a quick shot, or getting up there and do something crazy, or throwing long passes ahead that go out of bounds. The stuff that's really hurt us. And I think you look back at Colorado State and UNLV, we were -16 and -13 on the glass. We were 21 turnovers and 15 turnovers. You're not going to have a good defense if you're going to get murdered on the backboard and turn the ball over. And we have to find a way to do better at, which is offensively put ourselves in positions where we're not going to turn the ball over, and defensively, let's conserve our energy so that we have the juice to go get the ball off the board. And it worked tonight. And that's hopefully something we'll be able to tap into going forward.
Mm-hmm. Hindsight's always 20/20. Is the commitment that you made tonight to slowing it down, was there as much as, or maybe not as much as, and maybe you wish there were more of a commitment to doing that against UNLV last weekend?
Theoretically, we tried. I think we looked at a little bit of a matchup zone that sped them up a little bit, and you have to give them credit. They played 5 guards and just pressed it on us over and over again. Our issue is the quick shot at the other end. It is as bad as a turnover, and I think, unfortunately, our turnover numbers and our quick shot numbers have not affected us offensively. We've still been a very good offensive team this year, but it's really affected us defensively because it just hurts us. Yeah. And you look up at the end of the game and we scored 90, we shot 60%. You're feeling really good about your offense because those turnovers and quick shots, they don't hurt your offense. They get guys in okay rhythm. They're still touching it. They're still feeling it, but it's really hurt us defensively. And we had to find a way to reel in ourselves in offensively, which is hard to do, to become a better defensive basketball
makes
team.
sense, because we were talking about, in the past, you guys were giving up 75, 78 points, and I would ask you, Coach, you gave up, how do you feel about that? And he says, well, we won by 6. And, it didn't matter, right?
Yeah.
But looking back, it made sense.
Well, and I told our margin was different. You know what I mean? It used to be we could give up a 2-on-1, 3-on-1. You had somebody sitting at the back of it that could clean it up. You had a steal guy. We don't have that margin anymore. anymore. And it's humbling. You have to sit there and say, this is who we are.
Yeah.
It's not as pretty. It's not as fun. We can't throw the outlet pass up the court that is an alley-oop, which we get one time and miss the net. We just have to get down and play basic, boring basketball. It's just what we have to do.
I know there were occasional frustrations tonight with the number of offensive boards that San Jose State was getting, but you held them to 27% field goal shooting. They're going to grab some if they're shooting it 63 times. Overall, how did you feel about your team's work on the glass?
I just thought we had a couple stretches, and we have one there in that second half where they were getting quite a bit. But overall, based on the size discrepancy, I thought McQuatch-Malwatch was exceptional down there. And that's exactly what we talked about in the pregame. Instead of wasting that energy running for the wing and trying to get a lob, you just take your time on offense. I mean, let's treat this like it's the 1991 NBA Finals, and let's just slowly get up the court so we can conserve some energy to defend and rebound.
Is that
at the
how
other
they played
end.
in 91?
I'm just throwing that number out there.
I'll tell you what, the Bad Boys...
I don't even know who the 91 Finals was off the top of my
The
head.
Bad Boys
There you
Pistons
go.
and the Bulls.
There you go.
Jordan's
Okay.
Bulls.
Walk
They
the
played
ball up
slow.
the floor.
Yeah,
walk,
yeah.
Get your rest on offense.
Yeah.
and
I
we'll-
hated that era because I loved the Showtime 80s, the Lakers,
Yeah.
the Celtics, the
Push it up the
Sixers.
court.
Let's
Yeah.
push
Yeah.
it. Yeah. No. So, talking about that and tempo and rebounding, Corey Manigault's had to become a hungrier rebounder,
Yep.
hasn't he?
Yep.
How do you feel? Has he done that?
I think he's definitely gotten better. I think he's definitely cleaning up stuff around our rim better, and that's never been something, in his defense, he's ever had to do. He's had people next to him. That was their forte. It didn't matter. Now he's in a position where he has to do it. I mean, we don't have another option. McQuatch going in there, he's our foreman now. I mean, he has to do it. We don't have anybody over 6'5" out there that's really playing a ton of minutes, and those guys have to go in there. Vontae, Tavian, Zane, Keith, we need their help on the glass. And Corey obviously now becomes the focal point of that, and I think he's done a pretty good job at it.
From the broadcaster school of throw enough things against the wall and something will stick, I thought that if the Lobos had a good performance tonight, Zane Martin would finish around 20 points and 5 assists. It was almost dead on. Where did you see his performance tonight in terms of being the primary ball handler and kind of orchestrating everything without Jaquan Lyles?
Yeah, I mean, I think going into this season, we had 3 point guards on our roster. So to not have them here right now and to have an 11 turnover game speaks volumes about him, about Tavian, about our guards, and about just their ball security and maturity. Like I said, 4 to 6 possessions I'd have back. We did something, I was like, I don't like that. But at the end of the day, to have 11 and the goal was 12 or less, I think is it's exceptional.
Yeah, and I thought Zane played within himself, and it kind of, I thought it.
Just 2 turnovers.
Yeah, but because he played within himself,
Yeah.
he set the tone for the team. As a team started to really value possessions, right? And,
Agreed.
And take what the defense gave them.
Agreed.
Vontae Hendricks' role continues to expand. It has had to, as your roster has morphed. What about his performance?
Yeah, I think he's just got an energy about him. We've got to keep putting it in the right place at the right time.
He kept saying, next one. Just worry about it.
Yes.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's over, Vontae. Get the next one.
Man, and honestly, man, he's played, I think, 12 college basketball games, at the end of the day. And there's a lot of expectations around him, but he's literally a freshman. And, I think as his career progresses into his junior and senior year, he's going to be terrific. But right now, there's just going to be some hiccups along the way because he's trying to figure it out. He's played, I think literally played 11 or 12 college basketball games total. So it's just going to take him a little bit of time. He takes some quick shots at times. He gets excited. I mean, that's just him.
Yeah.
And we've just got to find the right balance of that. When he's on, he's amazing, and he really impacts winning. When he goes into some other periods is when we got to find a way to get him back a little quicker.
Well, Coach, I just got to tell you, it's night and day from the last 2 games on the road to coming home and watching this team play within themselves with discipline and have a strategy and execute it. And that's kudos to you and your staff because you guys have been working tirelessly to put this together, and it showed.
Yeah, no, and credit to the guys too, man. It takes a lot of maturity and humility to say we are going to walk the ball up and we are going to call a play every time and we are going to do everything that Coach says. And they did that. There was no, them trying to do something on their own or thinking they knew more. They followed it to a T. They trusted us, and that's a credit to them too. And there's been a lot that's gone on with our team this year in a myriad of ways. But I just told these guys just whatever this record is at home, they got that, and no one can take that away. They earned that, they did that, and that's on them. That's not something I'm going to take credit for.
13 consecutive home wins. Never had happened before in the Mountain West era. Pretty impressive. And maybe being willing to play a different tempo tonight, even more impressive, given that you've been coaching them to do something different most of the year.
Yeah. For sure. It's new. It's new for all of us. It's I wish I could say this is something I ever expected. It's nothing I've ever expected in my wildest dreams, but we are where we're at. It's life. It's adversity. You play the hand you've been dealt, and we'll just play it the best we possibly can the rest of the way.
Let me ask you one more quick one. We talked about this on air. God forbid, it doesn't happen, but if Jaquan is still hobbled, can't go Saturday in Reno, how did you feel about, and we thought about, maybe his minutes will kind of get divvied up between Tavian Percy and Keith McGee. Mm-hmm. Talk about the combination of the two of them and sort of the way they complement each other and how they performed tonight.
Yeah, I thought, again, they were good, and it might have even been a good thing, quite honestly, that they didn't know till tip. We've practiced the last 2 days without him, so we've been playing without him and practicing without him, so they got some good reps, but I think deep down they were thinking, you know what, he'll still go out there come game night, you know what I mean, and just looking at it today and checking with the doctors, he can't go, and literally when they're coming back into the locker room at 40 or 45, when they come upstairs, that was the first time they saw him and think, he's not going tonight, and that might have been perfect for them. There's no sleepless night last night. There's no calling mom, I think I'm starting tomorrow. Right. It was just boom, go out and play. Don't even think about it, and I think it worked really well for both of them that they didn't have to worry about all the extra pump and circumstance that came with it or the pressure, and they just went out and played.
Well, your third team at the University of New Mexico has done something that no other Lobo team since the 99-2000 season has done, and that's win 13 straight in the pit to start a year.
Yeah, we have great fans, too. Let me say that. Our fans are terrific. They've supported us through stuff. I mean, the student section tonight was all the way up to the band. I mean, the community here is awesome, and to support us that way after the games we just had speaks tremendously to the loyalty that they have to our team and the thankfulness that I have and we have, back to them. So it's the least we can do. Send them home with a smile and a win on their face.
And they wanted to soak it up, too. Hunter pointed out, you guys had the 30-point edge with about 8 minutes to go, and it was that margin the rest of the game, and most of them stayed.
Yeah. No doubt. On a late night.
Hunter's.
He's.
I'm bedtime for me.
I'm surprised he did this last segment. I thought
be honest with it. Did you pick this tie out?
No, this is a coaches versus cancer tie. So they send it to all. You were admiring it earlier.
I loved it.
I specifically found it.
You might use that on Valentine's for your. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go to dinner.
It's got the
I love that kind of credit, but I'm not that
good.
I mean, this is a. All coaches got this tie. I'm not that slick, man.
Thank you.
My fashion has a long way to go. Thanks, guys.
Suit tonight.
Back to the sweater.
Lobos 86, Spartans 59, a final. That's going to about wrap it up for us. Nice win.
Yeah. No, they needed some feel good, and like I said, they've been through some adversity, and to be able to turn it around and play a totally different style of basketball was impressive.
Wow. Thinking about Reno and Saturday and the last two Lobo head coaches sitting on that sideline for the other team, and a Lobo all-time great with them, with Alfred and Neil and Ramon
Martinez. Yeah, he'll be there.
It's going to be it'll be an interesting night.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Yeah.
All right, bud. Thanks.
For Hunter Green, my broadcast partner, for my on-site engineer, Michael Carlisle, our producer and engineer, Mike Vitale, I'm Robert Portman, and that's going to do it for us for tonight. Remember that McQuatch Malawach was spectacular with 13 points and 15 boards tonight for a double-double, his first double-digit rebound game of his career. Corey Manigault missed a double-double by one board, 21 and 19, and Zane Martin scored 20 with 4 assists. They were your leaders. The Lobos had 4 in double figures. Keith McGee dropped in 10 points as well en route to a rout of San Jose State. The Lobos will play in Reno against Nevada and all those ex-Lobos. That's coming up. Your next contest for you live right here on the UNM Sports Radio Network is Saturday this weekend coming up. It's January 25th. It's a 6 p.m. Mountain Time tip. Our airtime, 5:30, with the pregame show start And we hope that you'll tune in for that one. It's going to be something else. The last time a team won 13 straight to start a season in Dreamstyle Arena of the Pit was 98-99. That team won 16 in a row. This Lobo team is still tracking down that number with 13 straight. Final score for the final time tonight, UNM with the victory improves to 16-5 and 5-3 in league. Lobos 86, Spartans 59. Good night, everybody. You've been listening to Lobo Basketball on the UNM Sports Radio Network.
You have been listening to New Mexico Lobos Basketball, brought to you by Stadium 66.